spheres?
The ice cream, like when they come out, like ice cream scooper.
Okay, like yes, whenever you use an ice cream scoop, the ice cream usually does come out in a little sphere. I'll say that's a good one.
Oh, I know.
What?
Snowball makers.
Mm-hmm. You want to say I have a little, I don't know, it's actually, I don't know if it's like a cookie thing or a melon baller, but I'm going to say I don't use it for either one of those. I make Oreo balls. They're like my favorite. Like I mix Oreos and cream cheese and dip them in chocolate, and yeah, they're fantastic. They're like little Oreo cheesecake bites. All right, so we are going to do volume of a sphere today. And the first thing you guys probably want to know is the formula. So on this one, since the measurements all around the sphere are curved, we can't just simply go with like a length times width times height, because it's not as easy to measure things that are on a curve. So I'm just going to give you the formula, because the reason why I'm going to just give you the formula is because on any standardized test, it will be given to you. So the volume of a sphere, and we're going to write this up at the top. So your volume is equal to, the first part is a fraction. All right, so the fraction is 4 over 3. So we will be typing 4 divided by 3 in our calculators. We will be working with decimals a lot today. And then the next part of the formula is pi. Anytime we're working with circles, we're usually going to have a pi in our formula. Now, you guys can see that we will be using 3.14 for pi today. And then the last part is the radius to the third power. So the radius to the third power. So once we plug in these numbers, we will do order of operations. So we'll do our exponent first, and then we'll multiply and divide. But we've got to do our exponents first. So does everybody have that formula written down? Now, whenever I say R for radius, what's the measurement of the radius? Is it halfway across the circle or all the way across?
Halfway.
All right, what's it called when it's all the way across?
Diameter.
All right, so let's write those up at the top just to remind you. The radius is half of the circle distance, and the diameter is the full distance across the circle. So I will tell you, everything on this assignment, or as of right now as you see it, is revolving around the radius. On some of these, we will be changing those to diameter. So don't work ahead, because we will be changing some of those. You know, say, Emma, let me know when you're done writing so you're ready. You good? All right. So this first example, we have a sphere, and what is the radius on this one? I'll say the radius is 4. So we are going to plug in our formula. The first thing is 4 divided by 3. Now, what does it tell us to use for pi? All right, so we're going to plug in 3.14. And then the last part of the formula is the radius to the third power. So our radius is 4. So we're going to write 4 to the third power. All right, and then we are going to simplify. So you guys will need your calculators probably. I will get mine out. Now I can't promise you that you're going to be able to see this. We'll try it. The lighting on that is absolutely awful. Can you guys see that? Maybe? All right, so you guys can't see what I'm typing, but you'll see it when I type it in on my screen. So when I say 4 to the third, what does that tell me to do? All right, 4 to the third. That's the first thing we are going to do here on this. So we have to take 4 times 4 times 4. And it gives us 64. So we are actually going to take 4 thirds times 3.14 times 64. All right, so I definitely want to see that in your work. I want to see the numbers when you plug them in, and I definitely need to see what you get for that radius to the third power. Now at this point, we are ready to type in everything because we can multiply or divide it left to right, correct? That's all multiplication and division. So the first thing is 4 thirds. All right, so 4 thirds, we are going to type in 4 divided by 3, and you should get 1.333333. Do you guys all have that on your calculator? All right, so then we can take it times 3.14, and then that should give you like 4.18666666667, something like that. Now we got to take it times 64. Now, I did mine all in my calculator in separate steps. You can probably type it all into one. But the answer I am looking for, and we are going to round to 2 decimal places today. So when I typed it in my calculator, I got 267.9466667. All right. Nate, did you have a question?
I was gonna ask if you're gonna
Yes. So we are rounding to 2 places. So we want 2 places after the decimal. So right now it's 94. But we have to look at the next number. Does a 6 tell us to keep it at 94 or round up to 95? All right, a 6 tells us to round up. So we are going to write 267.95. Now we can't forget our labels. Okay, I'll help you with the typing in just a second. Or Mrs. Cooney can. All right, but whenever we do our labels, we are measuring in inches, but last week on volume, it was inches what? It's inches cubed. And one thing that helps you here, didn't we do the radius cubed? So your label is inches cubed. You know, say it's 3-dimensional, so it's inches cubed. All right, does anybody else have calculator questions not getting that number? Okay. So the first thing you want to type left to right, 4 thirds, you're going to do 4 divided by 3, and that gives you a number. Now take that times 3.14, and then times 64. There you go. So 4 divided by 3, then times 3.14, then times 64. All right, now remember when I said don't work ahead because we're going to change stuff? Okay, I still mean that. So we will be changing some things as we go through, so don't work ahead. So if you have questions about the calculator, if you have questions about the formula, make sure you're asking as we're going, okay? All right, so far so good? All right, so on the next one, we're going to try that again. But this time, what's our radius? 12. So whenever we plug this in, we're still going to have 4 thirds times 3.14. That's one thing that's nice. That will always be there. 4 thirds times 3.14. But the last part for the radius cubed, what am I going to write? 12 to the third. So order of operations tells me I have to do my exponents first. So for 12 to the third power, we're going to type in 12 times 12 times 12. It's kind of big, but that's okay. You know, say, JC, did you get an answer for 12 times 12 times 12 yet? 12 times 12 times 12. Do you guys agree with 1,728? I think that looks good. So once you have that exponent taken care of, now we are ready to type it in. Make sure you go left to right. So 4/3, we're going to type in 4 divided by 3. Then we're going to take that answer times 3.14. And then we're going to take that answer times 1,728. And on this one, you will get a decimal. So, okay, let's type it in again. 4 divided by 3. Did you clear it out before you typed it? Yeah. Okay, 4 divided by 3. There we go. Now times 3.14. Enter. Okay, that's good. 1,728 equals. Oh, maybe I typed it in wrong. I think we're good. I just looked at it wrong. All right, so on this one, Desiree, what did you get?
I got 7,234.26.
All right, now on this one, did you guys all get that when you typed it in? Now this one, do we have any rounding to do? No, say it already has 2 places after the decimal, but there's nothing after it. So we have 7,234.56, but what's our label? Feet cubed. Very good. All right, now, do you guys remember when I said we're going to make some changes? All right, we are actually going to pretend like that line went all the way across and not just halfway. All right, so in this case, if the entire length of the circle is 22 yards, am I going to plug 22 in? All right, so 22, is that a radius or a diameter if we draw a line all the way across? All right, that's the diameter. If I give you a diameter, how do you find the radius? Times 2 would make it bigger.
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2. So if you have a diameter, you are going to divide it by 2 to get the radius. All right, so in this case, what is 22 divided by 2?
11.
All right, so 22 divided by 2 tells me that my radius is 11 yards and not 22 yards. So the whole entire length is 22. Cut it in half, divide it by 2. So this time when we plug into our formula, our 4 divided by 3 and our 3.14 still doesn't change. But what am I going to plug in here? Just 11? 11 cubed, 11 to the third power. So just if you are given a diameter, you do have to take half of it first before you plug it in. So let's all take 11 times 11 times 11. Weston, what did you get for 11 to the third power? Do you guys agree with that? 1,331? All right, so now are you guys good to plug that all the way in? 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 1,331. All All right, now I'm actually going to write what I got on the calculator over here. I got 5,572.45 and then a bunch of threes. Did you guys get something like that?
I got 5,572.4531. That's what I got.
Okay.
That's
But if we look at this, what are the first two numbers after the decimal? 45. Now look at the next number. That'll tell us what to do. Does a 3 tell us to stay at 45 or round up to 46? We stay at 45. So it is 5,572.45 yards cubed. All right, now, are you guys ready to try 4 and 5 on your own?
Yeah.
All right, so 4 and 5, it is telling you that you have a sphere with a radius of 7. And then on number 5, you have a radius of 2. So I want you guys to try both of those on your own. Make sure that you're using the correct formula. Now, only do 4 and 5. We're going to make some changes on 6 and 7. You do. It's on paper. I'll say we're just about done. You'll get started here in about 5 minutes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put the answer up for number 4, and I want you to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Layton, are you awake? All right, tell me give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down right now if you like my work or don't like my work at this point. What do you guys think? Look at my final answer. Do you guys agree or disagree with my decimal? Agree? So on your decimal, when you type this into the calculator, I got 1436.02 and then a bunch of 6s. So we look at 02, but what does 6 tell me to do? Go up or stay the same? All right, so the 6 does tell us to round up, so it goes 03. All right, and then the last one, we would take 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 2 to the third, which what is 2 to the third? You say 2 times 2 times 2. It is 8. Do you want to know what the biggest mistake ever is, always? Oh yeah, people say it's 6. But you guys know better than that, right? 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. You guys get 33.49? because it was 33.49 and then a bunch of 3's. But the 3 tells us to stay the same. 33.49 yards cubed. Hey, we're almost done. All right, on number 6 and 7. Let's change the word radius here to diameter. So, if the diameter is 15 feet, we need the radius. All right, Harmony, how'd you get 7.5?
Divided by 2.
All right, so we take 15 divided by 2. So that is telling us that our radius is 7.5 feet. Now, I want to do this one with you because whenever we round, can we round throughout the problem or should we only round at the very end? What do you guys think?
We only ran after it.
We're only going to round at the end. So we are going to take 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 7.5 to the third power. So the very first thing I want you guys to do is take 7.5 to the third power. So let's do that. 7.5 times 7.5 times 7.5. All right, and we get a decimal, right? Now say, Jonathan, what do you get when you take 7.5 to the third power?
421.875.
I agree with that as well. So we are actually going to leave it as 0.875. We're not going to round that. We're going to multiply all of this out and then round at the very, very end. So we're going to take 4/3, or 4 divided by 3, times 3.14, times 421.875. Now what happens whenever we are done there? Do we need to round or did it work out nice? Ooh. Mine ended up only having 2 decimals at the end. When I multiplied all of that together, so I took 4 divided by 3,
Oh,
and then I took that times 3.14 and then times 421.875, I got 1766.25.
ours rounds up to that, but ours
Yours might just
gives us
round. Ours
Yeah.
doesn't. It says mine says 1766.2499.
That's,
So yours
Really?
just rounds.
yours is a little more updated than ours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can say that, but mine
Mine's been the same
I always
as yours.
All right. So if I have this, what's my label? Nate, what's my label?
Oh, BQ.
All right, so for this last one, I want you to try this one on your own. We're not going to do the last one. We're going to stop here at number 7. We're going to change that to diameter, but then you're going to do this one by yourself. So you have to find the radius first. what are you guys using for your formula for your radius? All right, I agree with that. Did you guys use 729 when you plugged it in? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
All right, can you guys do a few of these on your own? All right, so this is on paper. If you guys don't finish it today,